Okay, so I thought it would be a cool video to show how do you care for and clean any leather jackets or pants you have, and so you can see this is, I guess, technically the end of the summer. So I've had a good spring summer riding season. You can see all the bug splatter all over my jacket. So this is a Alpine Stars. I can't remember the exact model of this jacket, but you can see it has black and white leather, then some fabric under the arms and in the chest area for flexibility. But for all the different leather pieces, you can see all the stains. And so I do have a pretty good kind of technique to go through this. Now you could use, combination leather cleaner and conditioner, but anytime you use a combination of something like a cleaner and conditioner, 2-in-1 product, it's not going to be as effective as actual dedicated products will be. And so what we'll do is, if you're using this Lexol, a two-step process. Step 1 is the cleaner, step 2 is the conditioner. So, you clean it, you come back the next day and you do the conditioning. I do also have just a spray cleaner for, anytime I need to do like a quick touch up if something gets on the jacket, maybe on the white areas or something, and I don't want it to sit for months, like I've let a lot of this bug splatter sit. Then you can use something like this leather spray, which is spray cleaner, which is pretty quick. But for this, we're going to do a two-step process. We're going to show the first step is actually just kind of cleaning and getting all of the kind of residue off of the leather, then kind of wiping it off with a damp microfiber towel or a sponge applicator, and then letting it dry overnight and coming back and conditioning the leather. Let me see if this will actually show on the camera. Kind of a little bit. You can kind of see I have my UV light. It's for some of the areas where there's not leather. I can kind of pick up on some of the bug splatter. Yeah, that's a good example right there. Let me see if I turn this light on, if it makes it better. Let's see. Does that show up? Yeah, it's kind of showing up a bit. You see all that bug splatter in the leather and even on some of the fabric panels. And so we'll use our two-step process and get this cleaned. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is apply some of this cleaner to the jacket. So give it a nice shake, put some on my sponge, kind of get that primed. You can see I'll just start giving it a nice wipe down on all the leather surface areas. So you can see it's kind of starting to foam up, giving the bug spots a little scrub. So this is a spot where the bugs stuck on there pretty good, but give it a little scrub and you can see that's coming right off. So I've got the main front panel, left side, done pretty quickly. Add a little bit more. A nice rub down. Trying to get to the seams. And so I'm going to avoid the fabric panel, so I have something separate for that. So I'm just mainly concentrating on the leather. And where we have this stitching in the middle, you can't really avoid that too much, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back later and hit that with something else. So right now I'm mainly trying to get the leather panels nice and cleaned, and you can see it, you know, cleans up pretty nicely. And we'll come back with the a clean wet rag and kind of wipe some of the cleaner off. So it's going to be actually multiple steps to even applying the first step. You know, you're applying the product, a damp rag, damp cloth to take some of it off, and then coming back over it with a fully clean towel to wipe off any excess moisture. So let's get back to it. So we're still in the cleaning phase, so you can see I'm still applying cleaner to the leather, giving it a nice scrub. You know, getting all the panels, making sure I get every piece of leather on the jacket. Get this cleaner on. And then once we have the cleaner applied, what we'll do is come back with a clean wet rag, kind of scrub it in. All right, so the next step we're gonna do is just take a wet rag and massage the leather again, kind of go over it, make sure we agitate and loosen up any dirt or whatever may be left on the leather. So we'll give that a nice wipe down with a wet, clean wet cloth. All right, so we have the main leather parts of the jacket with some initial cleaning being done, but you can kind of see on the little non-leather fabric pieces there's still some bugs kind of embedded into the jacket. And so what I use for those, and this is good for pretty much any type of fabric, is this stuff called Folex. So if you don't know about Folex, you're gonna thank me later. Just get a couple bottles of this to keep in the house. So you ever spill anything on the carpet, you know, it's good for applications like this. You just kind of give it a little, I kind of overdid it if it been going on the leather, but you give it a little spray and you can see that, you know, just kind of work it in, and that'll get rid of those bugs on the fabric pieces. Now I'll wipe it off of the leather, so I'm just gonna hit a couple of those spots, you know, on the fabric piece. Let that sit in. And that'll clean up all those little spots, you know, on the fabric. So again, Folex. So just as a recap, we did you know, application of leather cleaner, Lexol, you know, applied it with a sponge kind of terry cloth applicator, you know, kind of stuff you use to apply wax, microfiber towel, damp, wiped it down, then I'll go over it one more time with a dry cloth just to make sure it's dry, and then we'll come back tomorrow and apply the conditioner. Okay, now for step 2. This is after we've already applied the cleaner, wiped it in with a wet cloth, make sure we get all the surface contaminants out of the leather. So the next step is to apply the conditioner. So just use a microfiber rag for that. So always keep a bunch of those handy. So we'll just put some of that product on here, then wipe it in. Then the leather will be both cleaned and conditioned, ready for another 6 months or so of riding. So let's get to it. Okay, so we've applied the leather conditioner, after doing the first step, and you can see that it's still soaking in, but looks pretty good. Let's flip it over. Kind of see that it's really clean. Now it's protected. Pretty straightforward 2-step process. So one other last step, and this is something I often do after a ride in the summertime, is I'll get the antibacterial fabric spray I have here. You can see this Tide spray. And spray the inside of the jacket, also do the inside of the leather pants, sometimes the line of the helmet, flip the motorcycle denim that I have inside out, sometimes in between washes. So you can see, just give it a nice spray, and that'll keep the jacket nice and fresh. Doesn't take a lot, but again, this Tide fabric spray, and that's pretty much it. That's how you keep your equipment fresh and clean. And it's the same thing for the pants, so we'll repeat the 1-2 step process for the pants. You can see there's some bug splatter on the leather. So we'll do the full cleaning step, let that sit in, let it dry, and then we'll come back and condition the pants. I do this, a couple times a year, 2-3 times a year as necessary. I've had a couple nice rides in the twisties. Lots of bug splatter that I want to get out of the leather, so we'll go into the same 2-step process with these. Came out nice and clean. Good product. Lexol. And again, I'm going to do a little quick cleanup after a ride. In the other last step, give it a nice spray on the inside. So got both jacket and the pants nice and clean, cleaned and conditioned.